Hey everyone, so this will be a complete guide to the move Strata Strike. In this video, we'll break down everything you need to know, how the move works, and the best builds to run with it, and how to minimize its potential. We'll be covering things like build specifics, what reses and weapons it best pairs with, also the best skill box combinations, and I'll be teaching you guys how to iframe moves with Strata Strike as well. By the end, you'll know exactly what to do and how to use Strata Strike, what setups it thrives in, and how to turn it just from another skill into a game-winning tool. Alright, let's talk about the best reses that complement Strata Strike the most. For Ron cars, the top picks are Acid, Vamp, and Volcano. For Soul Reaper, they are Poison, Theater, Ink, and Wind. And for Quincy, they are Explode, Miracle, Heat, and Visionary. So depending on your race, pick the res that complements Strata Strike the most, and you'll be hitting it way harder and cleaner in all your battles. Next, let's go over some build specifics for the move Strata Strike. First up, we have 45-20. This is great because you get the unseen while still being able to pick up rising slows. Then we have 40-25. This allows you to have pressure shift and you're able to get kendo skill boxes. This pairs really good with Strata Strike having its own counter, and I'm pretty sure that these don't share a CD. And finally, 60 speed for the reason that we get time cut, which is a really good move to get you out of really like iffy situations. You get unseen, and unseen confirms a lot of things like skyscraper and Cero grab. So depending on your playstyle, pick one of the three stats and run with it. Now let's go over weapons. Starting off with Ron cars, we have Wonderwise, Ukatana, Hurlball, Heat Piercer, Nails Lance, and Nails Katana. For Soul Reaper we have Dimensional Shard, Rapier, Katana, and Longsword. For Quincy we have Karen, Jurgum's Shield, and Splatin, and Cutlass. Let's actually talk about how to actually use Strata Strike now in combat, and why is it so strong. For the main reason being is that the move has iframes, and what I mean by this, I'll give you an example. How Flower Patches has a 360-degree hitbox. If you run into the vicinity of the move, even behind them, you will get hit. With saying this, Strata Strike actually negates this, and this is why the move is really effective. It has the ability to iframe it, because after the first instance where you get TP with Strata Strike, you get iframes for a split second. It's very short, but it's enough to bypass almost any skill in the game with Strata Strike. Or a few outliers like Flash Fang and sometimes Crescent Relief is what I've noticed. Of you get TP'd in front of them instead of behind them. So make sure you watch out for this. You can't iframe literally everything, but you can iframe the majority of the skills in the game. Also noting, when you're iframing abilities, Strata Strike is basically guaranteed to hit, always, no matter what. The reason this being is because after using a skill, you have N-lag, and Strata Strike abuses this factor, and is able to confirm crazy things, like normally I'll iframe Flower passive with Strata Strike, and I'll Cero grab them immediately right after. One thing I'll watch out for when using Strata Strike is when people start flash stepping. A really good way to nearly confirm Strata Strike is when they start flash stepping. After like a second or even underneath that, you'll Strata Strike them and they'll have enough distance away from you to where it's basically gonna hit every single time. But for really good players, what I've noticed is that after they realize you have Strata Strike, they'll limit their flash step or they start flash step baiting. This is a really good technique to trick people off, so you have to watch out for that. And when people do this, you can actually use the Strata Strike counter, and we'll get into that in a second. But thanks to the recent buffs, Strata Strike can now be chained into true combos. For instance, I'll like to Strata Strike and then immediately I'll Cero grab my opponent. This is a really strong combo that people should be abusing. Now getting into the counter. The counter is super iffy in some scenarios. I personally dislike using it, especially now in some situations where it would say both of my opponents have no Ryatsu. And I know if I use Strata Strike, they're not gonna flash up or anything. They're gonna react to it and try to M1 me. But the Strata Strike counter lasted so short that, let's say they react to it, but before they actually M1 me, my counter's already over. So it's a really iffy move. What I've noticed the best thing to use with the counter, the best way to use it, is with say someone's dancing waterfall, or someone's gonna use a crescent. You Strata Strike, spam them too, and then you counter them immediately. That's sort of what I've realized works the best. I wouldn't necessarily go after trying to get them to M1 you. It's too slow. I would say abuse the skill that they have with an active hitbox to in order to hit the counter. Now with the counter as well, it doesn't confirm anything like base Strata Strike. There's a split second where they're able to react, but in some scenarios what I like to do is I'll Strata Strike counter into unseen. Especially when your opponent's low and their flash step is super poo-poo. This is a really good thing.
Hey, Zay here. Overall, Strata Striking is an amazing skill box for all the reasons listed. With the recent Kendo nerfs, it's clear that speed skill boxes are currently the strongest option. Strata Strike may be considered off meta, but I'd like to see more people experimenting with it and bringing it into play.
This video has been approved by Heal Leader Grum and is cleared for release under the Heal contract.